Phasmo family. What's up? Are you tired of not leveling up, making money, XP? Do you find most custom difficulties and settings to be a little too hard or just not enjoyable? Do you believe that Camp Woodwind is trash? Well, you're in luck. In this video, I'm going to be hooking you up with what I believe to be one of the most beautifully balanced combination of custom settings worth a 10x multiplier, as well as an awesome overlay that goes along with that cheat sheet that I linked in the last video, the Phasmo etiquette video, plus tips on how to survive and actually, collect the money and XP that you're doing all this for. Because that's what you got to do, survive, right? So let's get to it. This can be played at basically any skill level on basically any map, but by basically any skill level, I mean, it's going to be zero evidence. So you kind of got to either learn or know Ghost secondary evidence, abilities, speed, things like that. So don't worry if you don't know it. I'm here to help you. I got you. Starting with the cheat sheet. If you haven't seen it or used it, it is awesome. It's a great learning tool for learning, basically any and everything about the Ghost. It also has the same kind of features as the journal. You can adjust the mode, what evidence you're on, nightmare, insanity, professional, no evidence, obviously, apocalypse, as they call it. You can narrow it down by speed, hunt sanity, etc. It has maps on here with all the breaker locations, cursed objects, the breakdown of the rooms. Like for example, I didn't know that Ridgeview, basically, as soon as you walk in the house, there's 2 different rooms here plus the living room. So that's 3 different rooms right there. Didn't know that. What I mainly use are the smudge timer and the cooldown timer. You can also use the BPM finder, which you just tap F on your keyboard, to match the speed of the Ghost, see what it is. That'll help you out in learning the speeds of the Ghost. But rather than alt tabbing in and out of the game, even with additional monitors, I have 3 monitors and still alt tabbing just to this cheat sheet page and then back to the game to set the timer or whatever is still kind of a pain. So they have an awesome desktop link app that you can download, which is this little guy right here. I'll show you the overlay in game. This right here, you can set up your hotkeys however you like. I got my timer on one of my mouse buttons just because when I'm usually smudging the Ghost and setting the timer, my WASD fingers are busy. Okay, so I want to be able to just hit a button on the mouse, get the timer as accurate as possible, and go. You can set it up however you like, from the brightness or opacity, however you say that, the color of it, background, etc. For the sake of this video, I'm going to have it on a pretty bright setting just so you can see it. Back to the game. So as you can see, I got the overlay down here. It functions pretty much just like the web page does. You have another additional overlay that you can add. Like I said, I only use really the 2 timers. I'll sometimes use the speed BPM counter where you can just tap F and match the speed of the Ghost to try to narrow it down. I don't typically use that too much anymore. As you can see, I nailed the normal speed of a Ghost, which is 1.7 meters per second, but it's a great way to learn. Also functions kind of like the journal where you can select or eliminate evidence, based on what it is. I don't use that. I won't be using that today. If you're just learning, you're new, you're trying to learn, great tool. Let's get down to business here. Anytime you mention custom settings or XP farming or anything along those lines, somebody's always going to say the best place to do it on is Woodwind. I'm here to tell you that's cap. The best place by far, Tanglewood. Tanglewood's the GOAT, and it's probably going to stay that way. We'll see when Point Hope comes out, but for now, Tanglewood is the GOAT. Undisputed. I don't make the rules. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. I still play on Woodwind. I typically rotate, use Tanglewood, Willow, Camp Woodwind, and I alternate. I also played on Ridgeview, Edgefield, Grafton, even Bleasdale if I got enough people. It can be played on any map as long as you have a place to loop the Ghost, okay? Dining room table, a kitchen island, a car in the garage, a couch, whatever you feel comfortable with looping. For those of you just starting out, I would probably stick to either Tanglewood, Willow, or Woodwind. Woodwind requires a little bit more skill. The picnic tables don't completely break line of sight, all the way every time, but it can be done. Also, not everybody has to go into the house or the map. If you're new and just learning, try this with some people that don't mind you not going in and just helping out. I have no problem with people not going in the house and just helping me bring in equipment or bringing me what I need. You know what I mean? So there's definitely no shame in camping a truck on a 10X. The main point here is to get the ghost right and stay alive. The beauty of this custom that I've finally tuned and tweaked to perfection, close to it, is it can be played either way. It can be played speed run style, get in, get a hunt or two, get the ghost, and get out. Plenty of money in a short amount of time. Or if you're like me and you're not really a fan of the speed run, you really enjoy the investigation, the puzzle, figuring out the ghost, especially defeating one of those normal, boring ghosts that are a pain in the ass to figure out, this can be played like that. I also enjoy getting perfect games whenever possible. Yeah, this can be played however you'd like. I believe it's just a perfect combination of everything. I normally play on at least Nightmare and above, but you just don't make that much money on Nightmare or Insanity for that matter. And if you're going to do custom, you might as well at least do 10X. All right, so let's get into the settings and why. Starting Sanity 0, obviously we want to hunt as soon as possible to figure out the ghost. We don't need evidence. We don't need to be, lollygagging around. We want to get right to work immediately. Don't need sanity pills. Sanity drain speed 200. We don't have any anyway, so there's no point in, having that low. Sprinting on. I like to have this on just in case. I mean, I'm not good enough really to loop the ghost consistently without sprint. I can do it. I mean, there's ways to keep the ghost on the other side of whatever you're looping it around. I'm just not that good at it yet and not confident in my abilities to do it yet. It can be done. It's not enjoyable for that matter. Player speed, normal. Flashlights on. This is personal preference, but just for reference, it's not really that big of a difference having it on and off. Point 1. Might as well have it on. Obviously got to have this on. Normal ghost speed, roaming high, changing favorite room high. We'll talk more about this later and how this will come into play, especially with Gorios. Interaction amount low. That's fine. Vent frequency medium. I had this on low before, but you'll often find, those of you who are completionists and like getting perfect games whenever possible, this can be a problem on low. Thankfully, it's not really a big difference. Again, 0.1. I went ahead and bumped that up. I used to play it a lot on low, and yeah, this witnessing a ghost event objective was always a pain in the ass. Obviously, friendly ghost off. Grace period on 1 second. This is a pretty significant difference, but so is this and this. This, you don't have a chance to smudge if it spawns on top of you. Mind you, any ghost, whether it's a teleporter, roamer, or not, can spawn next to you, on you, in you, if that's how the cards fall. So this at least gives you a chance to get off a smudge and save yourself. Granted, it's 1 second, but at least there's a chance. There's nothing worse than something spawning right on top of you and killing you. It's just, I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. So yeah, it's half a point, but at least you have a chance. Hunt duration high. This isn't as bad as it sounds. Medium, I've found, has just been too short, usually, to gather the information that you need to figure out the ghost. High is sometimes too short, but it's nowhere near as long as a cursed hunt. It's really not that long, which you'll see here soon. This doesn't matter. There's no point in having it on. Doesn't add any points. Honestly, makes the game go by faster when you are playing with the people. So evidence given, obviously 0. 0 setup time. Weather, windy. It's not the highest one. The highest one is heavy rain, but that is loud and it's hard to hear the ghost. I used to play on snow, but that can be problematic when certain situations, like looking for orbs outside or trying to narrow down the ghost room with not a lot of time, which you will not have a lot of. Windy's been the best. It's the least noticeable. Don't even hear it or notice it really, even outside. So windy's awesome. They'll probably change that. Doors open, high. Hiding places, none. There's still places to hide though, so don't even worry. Both monitors off. Fuse box at start of contract on. If you're not comfortable with giving the ghost line of sight or looping or smudging, or you're not confident in your abilities yet and aren't comfortable with letting the ghost see you to rule out. Fuse box on is your friend. It's not a huge difference. 0.1. Granted, all the 0.1s add up. So what? For me, I like to just get in the house, get straight to work, get my lights on, and get ready. And I like to see the ghost. And I don't like night vision, so it's just worth it to have the fuse box on. You don't have to worry about Mare, Jin, Hantu. The pros far outweigh the cons. Don't need to have the fuse box visible on the map because we all know our breaker locations on all the maps, don't we? We do, don't we? Okay. Cursed possessions, don't need them. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's briefly go over equipment. I typically have a setup specifically for this, especially solo. I want to bring in the least amount of equipment as possible, the bare essentials, if you will. Tier only matters in certain things. Crucifix, of course, you definitely want to have at least a tier 2. Firelight, same thing, tier 2. Headgear, like I said, I prefer tier 2. I like having 3 items in my inventory. And I like having the headgear to test for Ridgeview and yokai and stuff like that, while still having 3 different items in my inventory other than a flashlight. I almost never use flashlights, to be honest. Smudge, definitely tier 1 or 2. Tier 3's trash. A, it just stops the ghost wherever it is. B, you can't crouch with it because of the stupid collision that still exists in the game with a lot of the items in Phasmo for some reason. So that can get you in a bind, especially if you're just starting out and learning how to loop and whatnot and smudge. Stick to the tier 1 and tier 2. They do great. I personally like tier 2 better than tier 1, but to each his own. Again, if you're one of the completionist types like myself, I bring in objective items or possible objective items, and I'll bring in 2 motion sensors just in case you don't get to position the first one just right how you want it, or the ghost is avoiding it for whatever reason. Rather than put yourself in a risky situation, you can just place the other one in another spot. Same with the video camera. Parabolic, it's good for also testing Banshee as well as an objective item. Photo cam, same thing. Good for Phantom and usually an objective, and also good for that getting that perfect game, maximizing that money, right? Salt, probably want at least tier 2 just so you're getting 9 instead of the 6 that you only get in tier 1 salt. Not a huge deal. It's just a lot easier to get a perfect game with 9 salt versus 6. Then you got to make up for, 3-star photos. So tier 3 salt can come in handy if you need to slow down the ghost in a bind or whatever, but just be mindful of tier 2 incense and tier 3 salt. Slow down the ghosts. Tier 3 salt doesn't slow down wraiths, obviously, but just be mindful of the placement of that. If you're on a team, communicate with each other so you're not throwing off the speed when people are listening to the speed of the ghost. Obviously, if a ghost slows down in the area where you placed the salt, then you know that's why. Okay, so enough of the fucking yapping. Let's load up and load in. 33-star footprint photos. I'm never going to get that. All right, now that we're loaded in, I like to take a look at the board, see what kind of objectives I got. Just in, have it in the back of my head of what other items I need to bring in other than the essentials. Also, those of you who don't know, when you open your journal, when you're in the house and whatnot, it usually comes to this page, right? You can click on overview up here and see the ghost name, the objectives, whether or not you have the key, which key you have. Those of you that didn't know that, there you go. You don't have to come all the way out to the truck or ask someone else what the ghost name is or if we got an objective, because it's all in here and it'll be checked off if you complete it. Key items to bring in. Obviously, if you're playing multiplayer, it'll be a lot faster, as with any game mode. It's always faster and better with help. You can do it either 1 or 2 ways. Bring in all the stuff you need, throw it through the front door, the gate, whatever, or just go in with your essentials. Crucifix in hand, smudge, lighter to light the smudge, obviously. I'm also going to grab my tier 2 headgear because I'm going to be testing for as many things as possible on the first time. Definitely want to have your crucifix in your hand. It's going to protect you from those ghosts spawning near you or on you 9 times out of 10. I say 9 out of 10 because I've had a wraith spawn literally right in front of me while I had my tier 2 crucifix in my hand, and it still killed me. So Phasmo be bugging. It is what it is. Nothing's perfect. We just deal with it. So grab your key for that annoying car alarm. Get your lights on. Get over to your loop station immediately. This is where we're going to be operating from. I also like to open doors for Yuri. All right, now it's hunting. Got our flashlight on. Now, staying crouched, number one, so the ghost is not speeding up with line of sight, right? It knows we're here because of our headlight, but it doesn't see us. Now we know that this is, it's either an obake. I'm pretty sure it's an obake. I saw it change into the guy holding the bat or whatever that is. Thought it was a phantom at first, but that's an obake. Okay. I usually like to stay for at least 2 hunts, just in case we're getting mimicked. All right, we got our crucie down. Got our doors open for Ure. Was kind of throwing stuff, but not really. We're ready for the hunt. Witnessed the ghost event already. That's awesome. Key to looping here is just crouch, right? Ghost can't see you. It's not going to gain up. It's not going to speed up with line of sight. But as you're crouched, you're watching, looking for the blink, the shapeshift of the obake, and you're watching to see how it throws items. This one I can't see it shapeshift like I did earlier, but I know I saw it shapeshift, right? So I'm sure many of you saw it too. Normally I smudge on the first hunt just to get some time to get our other equipment and get set up. I'm gonna run out here and grab a video camera real quick just to make sure it's not a mimic. As you can see, it's not hard. Not hard to loop the ghost. Just don't give it line of sight. Don't waste your sprint. I'm not even using sprint, to be honest. I'm just keeping an eye on the ghost. Don't even need sprint for a normal speed ghost. If you stay crouched, it won't speed up. Okay, that's clearly an obake. I know you just saw that. So we're gonna smudge here, start my timer, turn off my flashlight. Now he doesn't know where I am. Easy. Go ahead and mark obake before we forget. Somehow already got parabolic. I have no idea how. But now that we have time on our hands and we know what it is, let's go ahead and look for the bone. There it is. I'll probably leave it there just so I can get the photo of it. Go ahead and grab some salt. Yeah, I was prepared for that, huh? A perfect game, why not? It's there for the taking. We already know what it is. Might as well, right? Got our 3-star photos. Let's go grab. Notice I'm keeping the smudge in my hand just in case as I'm moving around, right? Got the bone. And we're out. It's an obake, we know. This is still the ghost room, by the way. See, it's been spawning all over the place, but that's the garage is still the ghost room. And we're out. Put our stuff back because we clean up after ourselves.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
There you go, perfect game. That included 2 of the daily, so that's 41.88, right? That was a total time of 11 minutes. Not the shortest, but definitely not as long as most Nightmare, Insanity, Professional, Intermediate. It can be faster, but you know, like I said, I like to use, I'd like to do a perfect game. That obake allegedly used its ability 23 times in 7 hunts. I call cap on that. All right, let's do another one. Let's go to Ridgeview. I'm not going to do all the places that you can possibly do it on, but like Willow is the same as Tanglewood, basically the kitchen island, the car in the garage. Firelight, motion sensor, incense. Actually, just because this is a kind of a long walk, I'm gonna quickly throw the rest of my equipment in there. All right, we got all our equipment in there and we're ready to go. This isn't something you have to do, but it's just nice to be prepared. All right, we're ready. Probably shouldn't even have this in just so we don't waste it, but whatever. Not a big deal. One thing to keep in mind when you're placing equipment around, which I just thought of, because one of the objectives is a motion sensor. I wouldn't be in a rush to get that place down before the first hunt. Same with sound sensors and just placing electronics all over the place. Like, I would make sure it's not a Raiju first. You wouldn't want to deal with a Raiju with electronics all over the house, you know what I mean? Set our smudge timer. It's not a yokai. It's normal speed. It appears. Didn't step in that salt, but it came down the stairs and basically straight into there, so not a big deal. We'll just put our other salt right here. It's really nice when you already have all your equipment set up. Now we got time. Still hearing noises upstairs. While you're waiting for the next hunt, yeah, just listen to the sounds so you can kind of get an idea of where the ghost has moved to. Pay attention to those ghost events when they happen, because that can get you in a bind too. Like that.
Hello.
Like that right there. Watch this. See? This is not the ghost room, but that's where the ghost was because of that ghost event. So, great example there. I could have got an interaction photo on that, but we'll just settle for the burn. Oh, it is an interaction. Okay. Burnt crucifix too. Got the ghost on the motion sensor. Blew out the firelight. We're rolling. Alright, we're gonna check for Jinn here when it does hunt. Interesting. Blew out that light, firelight, and immediately tried to hunt. Also hasn't stepped in the salt yet, which is interesting. Well, not a Jinn. We don't have to test for that. We know it's not. Pretty sure it's not a phantom. We know it's not a spirit. And we know it's normal speed. Not a Raiju. Not a yokai. We know that. Haven't ruled this out yet, just because it may not have just may not have used its ability. In hindsight, I probably should have put the salt there, but especially since it tripped the motion sensor. It's kind of throwing stuff there. Okay. It was kind of throwing stuff there, to be honest. Probably should have checked to see where the breaker was. Good lord, it threw that cup way over there. Actually, might be a polter. Breaker's in the basement. We got about a minute to get it on. So that was either a coincidence that it hunted immediately after blowing out that firelight, or it's quite possibly a mimic. Could rule out mimic in one or two ways. The obvious one is go up there to the ghost room and check for orbs. The other one is wait for another hunt. We know it's not a wraith. Our salt photos, grab our cruci, put it down in this one instead. Looping on the tables is a little bit more tricky, as you can tell. Ghost kept gaining speed because this table does not break line of sight, or not completely if it does. So, may have to hug it tight. Put this on here so we can see. Yeah, that's not a polter. We're a little late with our timer there, but it's okay. It's not a polter. Definitely think it's an Onryo though. So what we can do is go up here, grab this. Got time. Let's figure out where the ghost room is. See our breath? No. Hey, not a mare. So it's around here somewhere. It's in the hallway. I just saw my breath. Okay. That means could test for Onryo. If we hurry, we can make it back down there and get another candle. Light that and put it there. We got another smudge. We're good. This can be our other, or we can just put this one there. Imagine if your phone vibrated that loud. That's in that room there. Still not hunting, by the way. Literally right here next to me. It's a double door touch, I think. Sounded like it anyway. Okay, not an Onryo. Interesting. It's also interesting that it took that long to hunt. Yeah. See, you thought I was going to take a picture of you. I don't have a camera. Punk. Thought you're slick. They always know when you're about to take a picture of them. They disappear right before you're ready. Is that downstairs? Sure was. Still hasn't stepped in my damn salt. Son of a bitch. Well then. Four more photos. Maybe we can get this firelight. Show you another good hiding spot. It's right here. Do you see what I see? Did you notice it yet? See the time? Normal ghosts can't even hunt yet. We need to look for orbs. We need to check for orbs and... yeah, we just need to check for orbs. That's sus. Demons are notoriously one of the hardest ghosts for me because they don't always use their ability. The statistics... I'm dead. Son of a bitch. Oh, that ain't a mimic, I can tell you that. Got caught lacking. What are you gonna do? It happens. Just so we're clear, I'm so glad I caught that on video. That was a Ure that hunted in less than 90 seconds. For the record, I still have the timer up, by the way. Timer starts at 3 minutes. 90 seconds is half of that, right? A minute 30. That Ure just hunted in less than 90 seconds. Phasmo be bugging. I'm pretty sure that was a pretty short cooldown there as well, but hey, whatever. It's one of the things you got to deal with on Phasmo. That happened to me. I had a poltergeist do that too. Yeah, I had a poltergeist do that before. And I stopped. Maybe I didn't smudge it in time or set the timer right, whatever. That confirmed it. I'm glad I caught it on video. Let's get straight to the shits. Had all kind of weird stuff happening lately. A Dio hunting early. I've had all kind of stuff going on. Motion sensor, incense, parabolic. This I typically also go in with a different setup. Just go ahead and throw everything in right off rip. This, we bring all the firelights in here so we can see. Mainly. Get my lighter, open this. And I am immediately going for a smudge and I'm moving the crucifix. Right? Cruci down. Smudge in hand. And I don't hear the ghost. It's one of the things I do not like about Woodwind. Just because I don't hear it doesn't necessarily mean it's a myling. That actually might be a myling though. I can find the sweet spot here of looping. You can basically keep the ghost, you know, trap it on this side. It's definitely not a Oni. Oh, you're there, huh? Take that. Could have got a photo. I won't. As soon as I would have grabbed that camera and tried to take a picture, it would have went away. Oh my god. It's a mimic, I think. Or is it? Bro, I cannot hear this motherfucker. What is going on here? I thought it was a Dio. That motherfucker's flying. Hell no, what is going on here? That thing came flying in. He's mimicking a Raju there or something. Where did you spawn from? Okay, from right there. $30 seconds. Had to use 2 smudges on that one. I don't know why I did that as a waste, because it only goes off the first smudge, right? See? It's a waste of a smudge. This ghost is tripping, bro. %. Bro. The fuck is going on? Turned off the breaker. We know it's not a djinn. Smiling is tripping. Please leave me alone. God damn. So that should be a miling, right? Let's see.
Back. I've prepared some jobs for
And
you.
indeed it was. We didn't get 2 of the objectives or the bone, or we didn't get that or the bone. No big deal. Still got 3,271 XP. Easy money. Go ahead and run one on Edgefield. All right, Edgefield, let's get it. This one is easy because this is right where we want to be. And if we have time, we'll set up a polter test. It's in the piano room. Cool. That's where one of our hiding places is, by the way. It's like 3 really good hiding places in this. So we're gonna get at least 2 of these on this hunt right here. Laurie Clark, okay. Test for yokai, Jinn, Polter, Phantom, Oni, and obviously go by the speed and spirit and demon. Weird that it hasn't hunted yet. Sometimes they don't. Okay, we know what that is. It's a Ridgeview. Or a mimic. It's kinda late setting my timer, but it's okay. This is a great hiding spot. This is a great hiding spot. This is probably one of the best in the game, as you can see the ghost the whole time. Still breaks line of sight. Just don't let the ghost see you hide there, right? As with any hiding spot. That is definitely a Ridgeview. If not, it's a mimic. It can hunt now, any second. So let's be ready. So I'm listening for noises, see if I can hear anything. I'm not hearing it. Heard a door. Okay, I'm not sure where that was though. Obviously there. Basement, I guess. Throw that there for our camera. Our salt. definitely a Raju. Let's go to our other awesome hiding spot. Kind of just like the one on Ridgeview. Now, although a mimic can mimic the same ghost twice in a row, in fact, I've had it happen before. Had a mimic a revenant twice in a row. Highly unlikely. Got our 9 ghost photos. That must have been a door upstairs. Got to get a photo of the ghost, so we'll need to smudge it. To be successful, we'll turn that off. Smudge, boom, photo. Smudge, boom, photo, right? It's always good to know how many times you need to press Q to get to the item you need. We don't use mouse wheel. Watch this. Smudge. It's still slower. I'm scrolling the mouse wheel. That's as fast as it's changing, right? Versus that's hitting Q versus this. Scrolling the mouse wheel as fast as I can. Stuff like that saves lives. Looping around the couch is a little tricky as well. The ghost will gain line of sight speed and speed up, so always good to be ready. Got all our photos. Now we don't have to risk wasting one on the ghost and not getting it. Not a Oni, but we already knew that. It's definitely a Raju. Unless for some reason it's different this hunt, which would be funny. It's definitely taking over 3 minutes to hunt. We're going to smudge it on this hunt too, just to buy time to look for the bow and get that perfect game. Okay, apparently you're in here, so let's cover our butt. We're gonna have to go somewhere else, Ghost. Can't spawn here. Gotta go somewhere else. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go look for the bone. There it is. It's normally in this room. I find the bone in this room more often than any other room. It's weird. Are you fucking serious, bro? What is going on here? What is happening? Are you suddenly a yokai? No. Up here. Come here. Thank you. Tell me I got it. I didn't. Bro, I even risked my life to get that and I still didn't get it. Yeah, take that. Suck on that.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
Tier 3 Firelight. Awesome. Perfect investigation. 4183. Outstanding. So there you have it. Can easily be done. Pretty much any map. As long as you got a spot to loop. Depending on your skill level, you could loop something around a coffee table if you're good enough, or the recliner, or whatever. I've seen it done. I'm not brave enough to try it, but try the settings out. Let me know what you think. I'm due to prestige here pretty soon. Again, feels like I just prestige not that long ago, but that's a good thing. Again, are there faster methods to level up? Sure. Are there ones with more money and rewards? Obviously. But you just got to find your combination of, you know, probability of getting the correct ghost, probability of survival, time, and enjoyment. I don't enjoy just speed running and constantly running like 12x or higher on Woodwind or even Tanglewood or any of the other maps for that matter. It's just not fun. If all you're doing it for is to level up, I mean, aka clout, prestige is cards and ID badges ain't even worth it. 3 of them are the same color, basically, just a different shade of hydration of urine. 1, 3, and 10 are all basically the same, which is incredibly lazy on the devs part, but hey, whatever. They're supposed to be updating that. We'll see. Feel free to comment your thoughts down below. If you want to argue about Woodwind being better, go ahead, argue with your mama. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you out there.